What's it like to coach at your alma mater? We'll talk with Blaze Hargrove, the new Southland head baseball and softball coach, right after this.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Hello and welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, powered by Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree or stump removal needs, tree trimming that may need to be done, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal has you covered. They also do driveway work. They'll build ponds, repair pond dams. They can deliver rock and sand, and even now do horizontal grinding of large wood debris piles. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048 or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is proud to be the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast. My guest today has recently been named the new head baseball and softball coach at Southland Academy. Coach Blaze Hargrove, thanks for joining me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate it.
Well, Coach, this has got to be an exciting time for you. I know you grew up playing at Southland Academy for the Raiders, and you've been an assistant coach there for many years. And now to be named the head coach of both the baseball program and the softball program, that's got to have you excited for the future.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It truly is a blessing to get that opportunity, and I thank Dr. Collins and the Southland Academy board for trusting me in that. That's a big step up for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we got some good young players, so you're correct. The future is bright, and I just hope I can take the next step. Both programs have been successful, but I'd like to get over that hump and see if we can't win the big one.
Blaze, as you look back over your time there, both as a player and an assistant coach, there's got to be several people that have influenced you. I know as a young coach, when I was your age, I look back when I got my first chance to be a head coach and said, okay, I really like what this coach did, or I like this thing that this coach did. And I kind of took things from different people. Who are some of the folks along your journey that have influenced you?
Well, if you flash back all the way to the early, growing up, first throwing a ball, catching a ball, my dad. He was always around. He was willing to volunteer his time when he wasn't working to coach a lot of the teams that I was on. And even when, it wasn't a team practice, he'd be willing to hit me fungos or throw batting practice to me. And my brother-in-laws, you had Mike on here last week. My other brother-in-law, Will Peterson, both of them had successful baseball careers. And I'll get in trouble if I don't mention my sisters. But I grew up being a bat boy every day of my life because both of them were playing softball year round. And just set in stone that sports was going to be in my future, and they played a big part of that. But as I continued to get older, a couple of my buddies' dads that I remember playing a big part in my life was Mr. Bob Schuster and Jeff Fussell. Time. Both of those guys always helped with all-stars or travelers or things like that, and not to mention you and Danny Slaughter as well. All of y'all, you feed off of just little things here and there, and all of y'all played a big role in that. And then so my playing days are over, rec league and summer league and stuff like that. And I get into high school, and I was very fortunate to have really good coaches in high school: Ty Kinslow, Melvin Kinslow, Bobo Short, David Cochran. And like you're saying, just feeding off of little things. I remember David Cochran used to tell me 10 pitches or less in an inning, 10 pitches or less. And so that's kind of hard to strike out the side on 10 pitches or less. So what he was really aiming at was, hey, man, go the distance, throw the contact, trust your defense. And so that's kind of stuff that I would like to relay to the future generations is, strikeouts are cool, but going 7 innings, lasting the distance, and winning is just as important.
Absolutely.
And
Blaze,
now
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to leave this out. But now that I have been an assistant coach for the last few years, other people that have played a big time role in that start with John Brady. Getting to work with him for the last several years, great guy, great coach. A lot of the things that I will be doing will be piggybacking off of what we were doing. I might change a thing here or there, but getting to learn from him. And we never won the big one, but we were always very successful. We had some good teams and some really good players. And we say this: the COVID year was probably the most talented team that he had come through there, and that kind of messed things up. But other people, Rusty Tundy, I got my first assistant softball job. He was the head coach, and I actually got to work with him, Melvin, and Bobo. So that was really cool. I got to, I always looked up to all three of those, and I got to be an assistant with those. And so that was cool to kind of get some wisdom and some other things from them. And Rod Murray, Tim Gooden, and Mike Shadows, I helped them in middle school baseball. And just learning some different things off of them. And it was really cool. And then now that I'm the head softball coach, I get to work with Brooke Peterson, my sister, and Madison Reagan. And she's just coming over from Southwestern, but she's been helping the middle school, and she's going to really help me. I can throw a baseball overhanded, but I've never pitched a softball. And so she's going to really help me in that department because, just being a new thing for me.
Yeah. You mentioned Rod Murray. We're going to have Rod on here in a few weeks to preview the upcoming Raiders football season. But Blaze, what a lot of folks may not realize about Rod, he's a really good baseball man, isn't he?
Absolutely. And I think that's really cool. When I became an assistant coach at Southland, John Brady was the head coach and Rod Murray was the assistant. So I like all of the stories and the memories that we have. He was the Deerfield head coach when I was in school. And so he'll be like, I hated facing you. And it'd be the same thing. Man, I hated playing y'all, but we build off of that. And it's a really good camaraderie, and just to remember all the great times that we had at both places, and now we get to do it together. That's really cool.
Well, Coach, you'll be the head girls softball coach as well as the baseball coach. And one thing I've always wondered, do you carry the same kind of coaching mentality from the baseball field to the softball field? Tell me kind of what the similarities are and what the differences are coaching baseball versus softball.
Well, obviously, similarities is we'll start with that. You got to score more runs than another team. You got a round ball, you got a round bat, and in order to be successful, you got to square it up. So, still, both sports, hitting is, in my opinion, and I think for most people, it's the hardest thing to do in all sports. If you succeed 3 times out of 10 in the big leagues, you're a Hall of Famer. So that means you are failing 7 times out of 10. So to be able to overcome those obstacles and to be able to deal with failure and, a next pitch approach, the next pitch is more important. That's, and with both sports, that's the similarities, the differences. And I thought about this, and I think the biggest one is a pitcher in softball can rule the roost. They can take over. And now in baseball, you can have a really good pitcher, but you got to win 2 out of 3.
Right.
And in softball, that same pitcher can run it out there all 3 games. There's no limits on numbers of pitches and everything. It's a natural motion. And so, in softball, I feel like it starts in the circle. There are the bases are only 60 feet, so you can play a little bit more small ball, a little bit more bunting and stealing and stuff. And with the right team in baseball, you can do that as well. But it does make it a little bit more challenging.
Blaze, the GIAA, the new GIAA that you guys play in, and especially your region, has always been known for having strong baseball and softball. As you look toward this new year, and I know you don't realize right now exactly what you've got in softball and baseball, but I imagine you have a pretty good idea. Kind of give us a preview of what you expect from. First, we'll start with softball, and then let's go toward baseball.
All right. Well, start off with the region, and you're correct. Tift area, Bellwood, Deerfield, Terrell, Brookwood. None of those are going to be easy games. Last year, Tift area in softball, Tift area won the region, and they lost a few players, but they're getting their pitcher back, and so they're still going to be one of the top teams again because she is really good. And, Bellwood, they lost, I think, their two best players, but they still had a lot of young talent. And then the other three, Deerfield, Terrell, and Brookwood, they didn't lose much at all. And they were very competitive teams. And so we're going to have our work cut out for us. That's for sure. But we have a good scrappy bunch, and I lost four seniors: Morgan Weaver, Maddie Godwin, Eva Gray Studdard, and Lauren Duke, and all four of them played a significant role for us. And for the most part, throughout the season, I used 12 girls last year, and like I said, I just lost four. So I got 7 or 8. Starters, big time players returning, but I still have a couple question marks, and I got some young girls that have abilities, and it's yet to be seen on the field. But I know that they have it in them. We've been doing a really good job. We've been working out 3 days a week in this summer, and we getting some hitting in, getting some defense work. We've been working out in the weight room, trying to get a little faster, a little stronger, and super proud of them. And I really think we have a chance to be pretty successful this year. The numbers wise only have about 13 that are going to be on varsity, so the depth is not tremendous there. So we got to stay healthy for the most part. But if we do that, I really think up and down the lineup, we're going to be competitive. I got Isla Johnson and Riley McCree. Both of them throw strikes for the most part. And then if we make the plays behind them, like I say, I really think we got a chance. I'll name some of my players and to give them a little love. Seniors, we got Landry Hart, Gracie Wilson, and Mary Catherine Sarasiotis. And Landry was an all-region player for me last year. So she, hopefully she takes another step this year. And junior class is pretty strong. They've been all three of these girls have started for me for the last 2 years: Avery Ledger, Isla Johnson, and Adla Ray Owens. And Adla Ray, she's kind of a utility player. I can kind of plug her in where needed, and she accepts that role. And she's a really good player. And then I got a good sophomore class. I mentioned Riley McCree earlier. Her sister Sarah Kate McCree, she can really swing the stick. I'm trying to find her a home in the field, but she can really swing the bat. And then Cadence Dockery is another sophomore, and she's come on. She's grown a lot since her freshman year. And I got 3 freshmen. Alyssa Godwin, who played for me as an 8th grader, she's going to be a freshman this year. She's a really good player. Got Camille Cochran and Reeves Young, who they're going to help us out throughout the year. They both have some good abilities. And then, like I said, Alyssa played for me as an 8th grader. I got another one that's going to play for me this year, Gracie Usher. And I'm really excited. She has a lot of the same capabilities as Alyssa. And so I think that, like I say, the future is bright. We got some good young talent, and to mix with some of these older leaders. And like I say, I really looking forward to it. We actually play within inside the next month. We start out August 4th, so it's getting close.
Right around the corner. And Blaze, as you look toward baseball, I know you lost a couple of big guns this year. What do you got coming back?
Well, almost the same scenario as with softball. We lost 5 seniors. One Matthew Saint was banged up and tried to come back from a shoulder injury and ended up flaring back up on him. So he, by the end of the year, he wasn't starting. But Chase Ledger, Henry Johnson, Luke Exley, and Scott Leuven, I don't know for a fact, but I don't think they missed an inning. All 4 guys, I mean, they're going to be tough to replace. And they're good leaders and good ball players as well. But kind of the same scenario. We played about 12 guys last year in baseball, 13. So you minus those 5, I got 7 guys who have proven at that level that they can contribute and can, give me some big innings and some, swing the bat pretty well. And these are the 7 guys that I know that got some experience last year that going to help us again this year. Will Godwin, who is a big old donkey. He's a great catcher and big-time hitter. And then Perry Usher, who can kind of play wherever you need him to and whatever is going to best fit the need for the team. Luke Terror did a really good job in the outfield for us. Trey Sellers and Travis Pennington. Both of those guys really came on strong toward the end of the year on the mound for us. And so just looking right there at just those 3 seniors, Perry Usher, Trey Sellers, and Travis Pennington, you feel pretty confident because you got some good arms on the mound already.
Yeah, sounds like
it. Then we had some underclassmen that contributed in big ways, Camden Rogers and Mac McMichael. And both of those guys have good arms on the mound as well. And then, like I say, the list goes on and on. We had there's probably 10 more guys that are competing for those 2 or 3 spots. And, a lot of things can happen between now and January. And, I'm really hoping for a lot of growth and maturity and just kind of coming into their own. Some of them are better with the glove or better with the bat. I'm looking for them to kind of mesh that together. And if we can do that, like I say, we only have, 2 or 3 spots available, but they're going to be there's going to be a fight for it. And I'm really looking forward to that season as well.
We are talking with Blaze Hargrove, who has recently been named the head baseball and softball coach for the Southland Academy Raiders. Our program today is also brought to you in part by Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. They're located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Americus. You can give them a call at 928-3686, and they'd be happy to sit down and schedule an appointment with you to discuss your insurance needs. Marty can even do the discount double check to make sure you're getting all the savings that are available for you. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Blaze, you grew up here in Americus. You played rec sports. You played for Southland. You played for the Americus Travelers. There's a lot of people in this area that know you. Now you're getting a chance to coach many of their kids. And if you're not coaching them now, you probably will in the next few years. You have an opportunity right now to tell some of those folks a little about what you hope to be as a head coach. If you're talking to those parents that have kids that are either playing for you or will play for you, what do you want them to know about Blaze Hargrove?
Well, that hopefully I demonstrate going about the game the right way, and from listing those names that I named earlier of former coaches that I played for or played under. They set a good example, and they taught me, and that this is what I hope to teach them: is play the game the right way, treat the game with respect, and a lot of times the game will respect you. That goes from hustling on and off the field, not disrespecting your opponents, not disrespecting a coach, an umpire. Those people, the coaches and umpires, you might not think it, but they're not there to ruin your day. They're trying their best, and a lot of times you don't agree with it. And I mean, I've learned the hard way with softball. Just one of my first games, I got a warning because I was arguing with an out safe, and it kind of put it in perspective. Just like, all right, this guy, he's having a bad day. He doesn't, he's not trying to make my day miserable, but just kind of let it go. Keep your focus on the kids in itself, and not really lose sight of your emotion into the game. And want to be successful on the field, but if I can make them be successful off the field as well, then that'll be a real big goal of mine.
Absolutely. Coach, as you mentioned earlier, we had your brother-in-law on, Mike Reeves, last week, and his team recently won the GRPA 12 and under state championship. When you see young guys like that, many of whom currently attend Southland Academy, you see them playing at such a high level so early in their career. That's got to have you excited about them coming up through the program.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And first off, for anybody that I haven't seen, congratulations to everybody on that team, the parents, coaches. That's very, very exciting. And I mean, just couldn't ask for more at that age. And I believe in this, and I think you will agree. There's no substitute for experience.
Right.
You can simulate a situation in practice. You can simulate this, but until I remember y'all talking about Matthew Owens making that catch. Until you get in that situation, and you know whether or not like this is that moment. I need to go make that play, or just to lose the nerves, lose the what if I fail here? What if I fail? Always, just you can't replace that experience and in that moment. And whether you succeed or fail in that moment, the experience that you have is really unmatched. And that's what's exciting. And I know that they're learning the game the right way, as far as base running, or just being in a proper fielding stance, getting the lead runner on a ground ball, keeping your force out available, things like that. And I mean, once they get to middle school and high school, if you don't have to reteach that, if they really grasp that knowledge and learn the game, I mean, that's going to make the world of difference for me as a head coach, for sure.
Blaze, I know you and I have talked about this several times around the ball field over the last few years. We've talked about baseball IQ. And as I watched that team that Mike coached, one of the highest baseball IQs for a young team that I've seen. And I give Mike a lot of credit for that. As the new head coach at Southland in baseball and softball, I'm sure that's one of the things you want to make sure your kids develop in, is having that baseball or softball IQ.
Absolutely. And just the growing up process has changed for kids. And so, like, I mean, I even more so with my brother-in-laws. But I mean, when I grew up, when it got dark, I was watching the Atlanta Braves. And I mean, I knew the lineup back and forth. I could name you, I probably could name you the AAA roster as well when I was growing up. But I mean, I just loved it. And just, learning those situations, learning how those guys handle themselves in today's world. There's that, I mean, technology. I mean, it's right there at their fingertips. But they, even though they have more access to it, there's other stuff that's drawing their interest away from it. And so they don't necessarily see what. Well, I use this for an example. The other night, Ozzy Albies bobbled the ball. It falls down at his feet. And instead of rushing and trying to turn a double play, he just gets the sure out at first. But like, just seeing that, as soon as he bobbled it, his mind flipped just to get the out. And stuff like that. As you're coaching, a lot of guys still try to force that out at second, and then they end up in the left field or something like that. And just all right, well, the double play is out of picture. Let me get the sure out. the pitcher will appreciate this. We eliminate a big inning, things like that. And that the IQ, it's unmatched.
Yeah.
Especially base running. Base running, taking that extra pitch. If your eyes are on the ball and you can read it down, that catcher has to block it, get up, and still make a good throw. If you're somewhat of a fast runner, take that chance. And
absolutely.
Put the pressure on the other team. And a lot of times good things happen.
Our show is also brought to you each week by WMNZ AM 1050 in Montezuma. Each week, they take the audio off of our program and play it on their radio station for the listeners in the Macon County area. We want to thank Lance Till and the fine folks at WMNZ AM 1050 for being a sponsor here on the Integrity Sports Podcast. Blaze, speaking of family, I know you recently married. And I give my guests each week an opportunity to talk about their families, not just their spouse, but their extended family and those folks that form your support network. Tell us about those folks who lift you up.
Well, to start with, my wife, Samantha, and she's pregnant right now. We have a little boy on the way.
Congratulations. I did not know that.
Yes, sir. He's due 9/24. So she's in the third trimester. It's going to be here before I know it. And I'm excited about that. And then to continuing with my family, my mom and dad have always, they're a rock. They're always there. My sisters, my brother-in-laws, my aunts and uncles, even Samantha's family. They're not from Americus, but they've always been very supportive. And being a coach is not easy. There's a lot of time away, but they're really great. And really appreciative of the family and my surroundings. And just a lot of good things happening, and I'm really excited about that.
Blaze, we want to wish you the best in this new role there at Southland. It's great for me to see one of our local guys get this opportunity. I hope you'll come on again toward the end of the softball season. We'll try to get you on and kind of preview the playoffs in softball. But, man, do what this show is named. Coach with integrity like you did as a player and an assistant coach. I think you're the right man for the job. No question about it. And we want to wish you the best.
Well, thank you, Coach. I really appreciate you. I thank you for the opportunity to come on here. And folks that are listening, come out and support us this fall. Like I say, we start up in August, and hopefully give you all a good show. And I can pretty much guarantee we're going to play hard and try to play the game the right way. And just super thankful for this opportunity. Thank you again, Coach.
That's Blaze Hargrove, the head baseball and softball coach at Southland Academy. We want to thank you, our viewers, for watching the Integrity Sports Podcast each week. Don't forget to like and share this video if you're watching on Facebook. We're really pushing our YouTube presence, trying to build that to the 1,000 subscriber mark. So log on to YouTube, type into the search bar, Integrity Sports Podcast, and up in the right-hand corner, you'll see a little white button that says subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and we won't load you up with notifications. All we'll do is every week as a new show airs, you'll get a notification showing that a new show's up there. Hit the subscribe button for us. For Blaze Hargrove, I'm your host, Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.